Every edition of the ocean race is tough, and this one has been no exception. From the extremes of the Southern Ocean and then onto leg 4, where Team Holcim PRB and Guyot Environment Team Europe both lost their rigs while out on the water racing. To help us understand the extreme nature of this sport, we spoke to Anje-Marjicke van Boxtel, the mental coach for 11th Hour Racing Team, to guide us through what goes through the minds of the skippers when they're making these tough decisions, as well as finding out if there are any good lessons for us to learn from them. Are you coaching them as they go? Do you see some of the boat feeds and you think, oh, you know, that person's going into this area and we don't want them there, or that person's solid? How much maintenance do you do when they're sailing?
So normally you do everything before they leave, and not just individually, but also especially as a team. So how can we find each other when we find ourselves in a bad place, and call each other out to be the improve in performance again. So a lot of that work happens before the leg, and what we do even here, you do that every stopover, because when you want to win this race, you have to keep learning even during the race. But obviously, now and then I was looking at the footage and I thought, but it's also only what you see on shore.
Of course, it's the edited footage, it's a glimpse, it's a snapshot.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Absolutely.
Because we had a lot of breakages. It is very interesting for the people on shore to see how they handle that.
When you are setting that process up, the steps that you would like Charlie or Jack or Justine or anyone, the steps that you would like them to take to get from disaster, disappointment, frustration, all the way through to the action and off we go. When you set those steps up, are they the same steps for every sailor? Is the path from one to the other just set for every personality type, or how much?
It depends how conceptual you make the path, because there is a path. But how exactly, in which time frames you do that path, that is just individually. Some people need more time to be frustrated, some people need to kind of sit on it, and other people need to vent it. So that is different, and it doesn't matter as long as you don't find yourself getting stuck in your anxiety, frustration, sadness, madness, whatever. So what we do and did is we designed a way so all of those sailors know from each other how do they look like on the outside when they are getting stuck.
Yeah.
And
the warning signs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they find themselves a sentence or something the colleagues could do to get them out there, to call them out there. And that is really easy because when you make that into an agreement, a team agreement, to reach for how you want to be as a team, it is easier when you train it on shore to do it when the going gets tough.
So I know you have been involved with the race before, and you've had some good successes. This time with the Imoca, 5 people, small boat in a canopy, have you been surprised by anything, or how is your perception of what it was going to be like matched the reality?
Yeah, well, we talked about it in the team. Because when I was sailing on the boat, I had a ridiculous feeling that I thought down there it was really cozy. I thought it must be so nice with your wonderful crew members to sit there and to sail. And then I think it was Mark who said, can you imagine when the hatches are closed and there's water, you feel like in a submarine. And I thought, okay, yeah, I get that. What surprised me is that I didn't really realize that even when you go to sleep, you're this close away for the people who are at work. Yeah. So you have to be able to sleep, to switch off, which is really difficult.
A question then about leadership. How much is the performance of a skipper the responsibility of that person, or how much is it fed by the crew with them? You know, I want my skipper to be like this, so I'm going to help them be that way. You know, is it just a one-way process? The skipper goes, "This is me," or can the crew?
Yes, on those boats, it doesn't work for anybody to say, this is me, this is my personality, you have to take me as I am. Because that means, and of course, it is difficult to change your personality, but it is not that difficult to change behavior.
Right. Oh, okay.
And if we agree on that, there's a lot possible. And so, of course, when you're a skipper, you hire your crew members, you kind of can get on with.
Yeah.
But the biggest danger is to sail the oceans in a team of clones with people who think like you, behave like you, whatever. So you have to hire diversity, which is, especially when it's going to get tough, difficult to work with, because you think, oh my God, we do this, and then the other one says, oh, but we have to do.
Yeah.
So that is one thing. Then you talk, and we influence each other. So we always feel, as human beings, we behave because we are like that. But we are, for a large part, our context. So our behavior is, for a large part, the function of the crew with whom we sail.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of interaction, how the crew wants the skipper to lead at different moments, or what the skipper feels himself capable of. And all is good, as long as you are able to design it.
Yeah. Okay.
So it can be, in my opinion, it's really stupid to be really authoritative as a skipper, if that is your only style on a boat like this, because you need a lot of intelligence to sail this innovative boat with those wonderful competitors on the ocean. So you need each other to grow complex solutions for complex problems, and you never can be the only one who decides on everything. So you need each other to chip in, to have opinions, to speak up, and there are situations in which you simply have to make the decision as a skipper yourself, because we cannot agree on something, or there's danger, and obviously then you should be able to say.
But if you've consulted with your crew on other things, they respect you, you've brought them along, then when you do have to make those decisions, they'll follow you.
Yes. Yeah. But I don't think you will be a crew member on those boats if you don't trust your skipper.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll
simply
never get off
won't
the
go.
dock.
No.
Yeah.
No.
What's it like for those sailors, for those leaders, for those skippers to shed a tear in front of their fellow sailors, to open up in that way? We see on shore this veneer of professionalism. How?
But we don't, do we? I think we saw a lot of videos in which people were, especially from our boat, I didn't look at a lot of videos, but from our boat I saw a lot of emotion, and I saw a lot of frustration, and that's what we said in the team. We wanted to be open.
Right.
That is what happens when you grow a good team, that the more you are able to talk about or share, the more free space there is to simply be where you are and to be rescued or whatever by your crew members. It creates a better performance, and you're kind of able to create a lot of safe space to communicate.
For everybody that's following the ocean race, maybe they won't get the opportunity to go on an AMARCA and face these things that we're talking about racing across an ocean. But I'm guessing there's a lot that they can take from the things you're saying and what we're seeing on the sailors.
Yeah, I think that is the coolest thing about the ocean race, and everything you show to all of us in the whole wide world about what those guys and girls are doing. I think what you can see here is they are doing in a pressure cooker with a camera what all of us do during the day, or
Sure.
so because they are together all the time, and because the pressure is high, and because the competition is big, and because you see all those team dynamics, personal or individual development, leadership. This is a brilliant metaphor, because all of us work in a world which is very difficult to predict, which is extremely complex, which is very volatile. And what you have to do is be really agile, really innovative, because you have to find yourself new solutions constantly. So you have to keep learning and growing. And if you want to do that, watch the ocean race. It is all there in the pressure cooker. So, and that's why I like the human story in the ocean race, because we can learn from them. I have a lot of respect from them, especially when they also show when they're a bad place, and because it's about all of us. Yeah.